good evening, good morning, wherever you may be in this world. I have no idea, but welcome. This is Reality In-Laws. I'm comic actor MD Cappy, and I'm here with my brilliant sister-in-law, Melissa, who happens to be a guidance counselor. And yes, also my guidance counselor. We break down what 90 Day Fiance reveals about love, culture, family, and some very questionable life choices at times. Today, we are going to break down the couples of 90 Day Fiance Season 12, Episode 11. I can't believe we're so deep into this. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the world champion, Melissa. But before, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Speaking of the classic actor Mido of Egypt, do you see
World
him ever?
famous.
Do you ever see him supplanting Will Smith? I'm going to give you a multiple choice: Will Smith,
Okay.
Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, or Al Pacino.
Well, I definitely see him in the classic Hamlet.
Oh, do tell, William
to
Shakespeare.
to be or not to
Yeah.
be, that is the problem.
Oh my goodness! Can I ask? Is that's almost blasphemy? Is it not?
I was wondering if, like, in Egyptian Arabic, if the word for problem and the word for question is interchangeable. 'Cause what the fuck?
What the fuck is right?
Okay, speaking of Debbie, it's kind of like did no one tell Mido that the condition of his visa was that he was supposed to marry Debbie? Is
Yeah,
this news to him?
I think he lost the memo.
Yeah. He lost it. He didn't get it or he
Yeah,
didn't read it.
he didn't read the contract fully. No,
That is the problem.
no. But you know what was really
Mhm.
concerning to me and very confusing to me is they had this huge fight, and the next scene on the next episode, they're kayaking in a river, so calm and peacefully joking around with one another. If
I
I was
know.
Debbie, I'd want to drown this fucking guy.
It made sense to me. But he in the sense that nothing makes sense to me with him. Let's start with them.
No, no, no.
But I think specifically with the kayaking, they're each in their own kayak, separate,
Yeah,
right? And then
yeah.
he says he does that strange interaction thing that he does where he makes a joke that doesn't really read like a joke.
No.
And it reads more like, yeah, I'm going over this direction. And he goes
Mhm.
over in this direction and she's in the other direction. And she's like, ha ha ha, Mido, you're so funny.
Yeah.
And it's like, but he's
It's
not.
not
He's
funny.
rude.
No.
Yeah. And
He's
we're
very
over it.
rude.
Hmm. So it's,
And
to
it's a
me,
good
it's
point.
emblematic of their relationship. They're
Very
each in their
emblematic.
individual kayaks. He's kayaking one direction and she's like, ha ha ha.
But
And he doesn't.
the sad
Yeah.
part is that she's really broken because of
Yeah.
this. She's
Yeah.
breaking. She's
Yeah.
breaking right in front of our eyes.
Yeah. So we see her breakdown essentially in
Yeah.
this episode. So it's funny because it starts out and he is FaceTiming a potential agent.
Yeah.
And I think the agent thought like that probably thought something like he was on a hookup call.
That's it. It looked like a FaceTime Tinder, didn't it?
Right, something like this.
Yeah.
And he says Mito's very handsome, but he laughs when Mito's like,
Calls him
"Hey,
hot.
will you be my
Yeah.
agent?" Oh, that's it. He says he's hot or handsome or
Yeah.
whatever. Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
But laughs when Mito asks if he'll be his agent. And then when he's telling Debbie about the whole thing, he's like, "This guy says he'll be my agent when I'm ready."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Really?" And he
Really?
says,
Yeah.
yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, when I start my English classes and my acting classes." And
Uh-huh.
Debbie is like, okay, well, we might just have to hold off on the acting classes for a little
That's right.
while.
Yeah.
I need to make sure that you're gonna stay." Really?
I know.
Really?
It really is. That's and you know what? We are two pretty intellectual people, but that's the only response we could possibly have to that. Really?
It sounded kinda like do you ever that Stephen King book, Misery? That
Uh,
movie?
very well.
Okay? When it was almost like Misery-esque. Like
Yeah,
like she's keeping him like in the book Misery, she keeps the man with her by like even I think she smashes his feet even so that he has
with
to
a
stay with her.
sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was almost like I'm not saying Debbie's doing that to be clear, but
No,
that whole like we need to make sure that you're going to stay. It sounded really creepy. It just sounded creepy.
it was creepy. It was creepy on Debbie's part. Yeah. You're not going to get your acting classes unless you commit to me right now.
Right. It was like the
Right?
tit for tat. Like that I always said like they have some kind of agreement
Yeah.
and it's not like a love-based agreement. However, maybe it actually I am pedaling back on that because I do think it's confusing to me. On the one hand, it's as though they're bargaining tit for tat, yet on the other hand, she does think that she's getting the love fairy tale? Question mark on that.
Uh, about 1,000 question marks there.
This is where I started to question, does he not know what the K-1 visa is for? Because he's always like, "Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I'm not quite ready for her to get
No,
right? To be married at this point." And she's like, "We need to talk about the wedding because we have limited time here."
very limited. Very.
And then we find them, when they are driving in the car together, it's like they do this thing where they're having a conversation, but they both seem to think it's almost as though they're having 2 different conversations or 2 different meanings behind
Hmm.
it,
Hmm.
because 'cause they're not really saying the real thing, and he always
Nope.
looks so bored when she's talking
He,
as
he never
though
g- he never gives her eye contact.
yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. His eye
Never.
contact is
Is
so
so weak.
and I know for you, you think it's like an indicator that maybe they are not that he is not into her, but it could also be an indicator that he is I'm not gonna diagnose him, but let's just say that Catie is perhaps not the only person who would need a diagnosis in this
No.
cast.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's depressed or disordered in some way in that he can't connect to people, and that's why acting feels good to him.
I identify with that because as an amateur actor myself,
Yeah.
I don't I identify with being an actor, but I don't identify with I'm not that his way at all. I am not that way at all because if someone's speaking to me, you're speaking to me, I'm looking at you. You give that person the attention, which is going to lead me right into my little Cappy's corner here.
Cappy's Corner.
Cappy's corner. I'm going to make this really brief. I'm not going to bore anybody, but I have,
Well, when you start by
I have,
saying you're gonna
I,
bore people.
I know. It's true. I'm not going to bore anybody, but it is actually boring because everyone has probably heard me say this before because I said, He's not great. He's not a good person because when you have to be in a relationship, you have to have these hard conversations. And she's asking him to converse, converse, converse. And how many times, Debbie? Yes, I'm speaking to you, Debbie. I hope you're listening because I want you to really get rid of this guy. He doesn't want the benchmark of a good relationship is having hard conversations. He he has shown no inclination of having that. None. And I'm going to end it there. I want people to realize it's the benchmark of the conversations. Go ahead. You have the floor. I got it off my chest. I feel so relieved
No,
that
it's
I
okay, I
got
was
it off my
listening.
chest.
I think that yes, I think he's not a good guy, right? That's not what we're saying, but
No.
I do wonder whether he has some kind of underlying mental illness, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't just mean to throw that out there. I said it say that, not even mental illness, that he might have some kind of depression or something happening the way he's interacting with her, or maybe he's like his inability to make eye contact, his inability to live in some kind of reality. I don't know if he also has something else going on,
But
in addition to that.
he makes eye contact with the daughter.
He makes eye contact with himself in the mirror.
Oh,
So
and he makes eye contact when he's looking at his own photographs.
Right, yeah, and I think the
Uh-huh.
daughter sees him, right? I
Oh,
mean, the and
absolutely.
that's
Oh, yeah.
and I think his preference is for her to not be around,
Uh-huh.
because yeah, and he knows what's she knows what's going on there. She's very
She
kind to
know
her mom. Mhm.
she knows that, as the kids say, she knows what's the what.
Is that what the kids say?
That's what the kids say.
So they drive to the wedding chapel, and he doesn't really know where they're going. She doesn't tell him. And then they're at a
Uh-huh.
chapel, and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's almost like, again, did he not know they're supposed to get married? Like, what the it's like a truck hit him.
Yeah.
He walks through this chapel, and it's lovely. It's like an old, almost like an old heritage building
Yeah.
in New Orleans. It looks so really quaint and cute, and there's room for 30 folks to sit and watch the wedding, but they're only gonna have her daughter, of course, Devin, and I guess there's a son, which
Yeah.
we haven't met yet, which would be
No.
interesting to see what her son would think of Mido, if he's even willing to be on the show, because we haven't seen any images of him either.
No.
But Mido, when is asked, like, "What do you think?" He's like, "I think it's a lot." And Debbie says, like, "I'm not sure what you mean by that."
Mhm.
He's like, "Me neither, we need to talk." And he says, "I think it's that it's time, right? I think it's time for me to return back home,"
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
And is he playing in like, power games, or did this really just hit him that it's, "You know what? The charade is up. I got all the screen time I need. I'm going back.
Yes.
I'm not actually gonna marry her." You said yes so
Yeah.
quickly.
I did, because I think that's his shtick. I think he played it exactly the way he wanted. Let me sign the contract, and, I'm just gonna do what they say for 90 days. I'm gonna get my screen time. I'm gonna get my million followers on Instagram, and I'll be on my way. I absolutely think that. I do.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it seems that way, and she runs out of the chapel, and, she's on the ground in the street crying is where we leave her,
Yeah. Yeah. Which is awful.
which is awful.
Something about Debbie, when we first got introduced to Debbie at the beginning of this season, didn't she looked wonderful. She looked wonderful, but how she has aged, how Mido has aged her. And I'm not putting all the blame on him. She has partly to blame, of course, because she's allowed herself to do this, but she had that four-letter word that I love so much. She had so much hope. And
Mm.
but she looks aged to me. Um, I She has
Y
to move on with her life. She
y
really does.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let him
You
go.
know, something about being in a bad relationship, or
Mhm.
a relationship that's not suiting you, is like you can fight it. You could fight against it like being on a treadmill, and then it ages you, right? It Instead of making you glow and feel wonderful, right? Like they should be in that stage of like honeymoon sort of stage where they're
Yeah,
finally together, and it's actually having the opposite effect on her,
it
but she
is.
can't see
Yeah.
it because what she's feeling is like it's been 6 years and I need to give it more of a chance. And
Mhm.
and she's fighting against the wind is what it feels like.
And I think it's very identifiable, and I'll tell you,
Yeah.
how my reasoning is.
Mhm.
All the people that are listening to this particular program of ours, some of them, a small percentage to a medium percentage, have gone through a relationship that they're doing all the work, and they're doing all the pleading, and
Mhm.
they're just, I don't wanna use the word begging, but they just want this relationship to work so bad for whatever reason they need it to be, and it just drains the life out of you. It ages you so quickly, and it's so unhealthy. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what I see for Debbie. I really do see this for Debbie. She has aged so much. I think she should go back to her life with Little Bit and her insurance company, whatever she does, and her friends that are cool. And she's got two kids, obviously, and go and start. She's still young. She could still start over somehow. I hope she gets the right healing, gets the right therapist, whatever she needs, because I think this guy has really damaged her. He really has. And I think that's the question.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Mido or no Mido? I think Mido is the
Or
problem.
to be or not to be. I'm going back to Egypt. Mic
Yeah.
drop.
Oh, it's hard to laugh at, like, Debbie's
It
anguish.
is, and I feel so bad for Debbie.
But maybe she's getting closer to some kind of, I mean, I know it's as though it's like we know she gets married. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe it's a fake out.
Yeah.
We'll see. But someone else, who has aged, not necessarily even aged, but who seems like they looked very vibrant in the beginning of the episode of the start of the season, but now 11 episodes in seems not so vibrant, and is really fighting this. Seems to me Catie, of Catie and Josh. And do you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, of
I
course it
do.
could be the drinking but it's like her mannerisms and
Yeah.
her it is hard to see her. But here she is. We start out with them and they're getting ready to see her family in
Yeah.
Alameda, and it's Easter weekend. And Josh is kind of interesting because there's another question here. I find him quite compelling. And he's like, I'm still trying to work out what religion is in America
Yeah.
and the way
Mhm.
people talk about religion. And I thought that was really compelling because at
Yeah.
first I took it like, what does he mean by that? All Americans are
Yeah.
different about religion.
Sure.
You could go to any family and they'll do Easter differently and have something else to say about this. But then later on, once we understand that she's Lutheran and how she expresses that, his
Mhm.
question starts to make sense. Like, we learn that Katie's family's Lutheran, Josh is agnostic, and Catie starts to suggest it's a deal breaker for her partner not to attend church and for her children not to be raised Lutheran. And Josh would rather the kids choose their religion if they have kids in the
Yeah.
future. And so I'm wondering, Cappy, what you think about that, because your parents also were different religions and mine were as well.
Yeah.
And
We
so
come
I'm
from very
wondering,
similar backgrounds, yes.
yeah. So I'm wondering, like, if your parent, like, if, like, in general, if parents raise their children to choose, quote unquote, choose their own religion, like Josh would like to do, I'm wondering, like, does that implicitly teach the children that no religion is a that no particular religion is correct or no particular religion is objectively true, and therefore religion just is kind of like bullshit? If you're able to choose a religion, then there's no truth in any religion.
That's a great point, but all I could say to you is, if I can go back in time to when my son was born. Now my
Yeah.
son, he received all the sacraments. I think I would have went back and I would have done it differently.
Okay.
I would have not done the sacraments and um for him, and I would have educated him on all the different religions that are available. The Jewish, especially when it comes to our bloodline, the Jewish faith, the Catholic religion, the different religions, and let him choose as he got older. So uh, that's my belief.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
so with that, if that answers your question, that's how I look at things. So I'm on Josh's side a little bit here.
Hmm. Yeah. It
I
doesn't
am.
really answer my question, but that's okay.
Well,
That
I'm good at answering questions by not answering questions.
um.
And by the way,
Yes.
it was there was a couple of things that Katie said about the Lutheran religion that really struck me. She says,
Me as well. Hmm.
uh, she if you don't want to go to be a Lutheran, deal breaker.
Right.
And she looked him dead in the eye and says, Lutherans do believe in divorce.
I know.
So, so it's like, I almost wanted to, if I was Josh, I would have said, "Are you threatening me?" Because that, to me, it was a threatening statement.
Well, I mean, she has a way of when
Oh,
there's a
she has a way. Yeah.
when there's a disagreement, it's like she has this way of saying the thing that will really get under the person's nerve. She's really good at that. She could
Very
shut it
good.
down because she doesn't want to engage or something, and so just
Yeah.
instinctively, she bites.
She
Bites.
bites.
So
She
she bit,
bites. But
right?
but I've
Mhm,
but I've a question
mhm.
because I didn't really understand this, and you're better at this than me because he said, I'm afraid you're going to hurt someone someday.
Yeah.
And she said, "What, like murder someone?" So I'm
Wait, did
thinking
she say this or did the I thought her mom said that. Did her mom say that or he said it?
I think Josh said it to her uh, that you're going to hurt. I'm afraid you're going to hurt someone someday. And she goes, "What, like murder?" And she was serious. Is that is that what the way she really thinks?
I'm trying to remember here. I'm pretty sure she said that when
Yeah.
she was
Oh,
talking to
she
her
said
mom.
maybe it
And I
was the
think it was
mother.
with her
Okay.
mom. Let's jump to mom for a second because
Okay.
they get into an argument. I'll catch you up to mom. They get into an argument, right?
Yeah.
He leaves because he's like, "It is time to go. We need to make this flight. I
He's a
need to get a
nervous
donut."
flyer.
He's a
Yeah.
nervous flyer. He wants to get to the airport early. And you got to wonder what the facts of the situation are. First off,
Yeah.
I wonder why he's filming this because there was no camera crew there, right? He's like filming
No.
it like as
Yeah,
if to
with his
say,
phone.
"You see what I'm dealing with, people?"
Yes.
Um
She's
and
lollygagging.
it's either he needs to get to the airport so obsessively early or she you would imagine that she's like a last minute I get on the plane if I get on the plane kind of person. Like and they
Yeah.
it's just yeah, that's probably the latter. So
Yeah.
he leaves and gets his donut or whatever. And I did wonder like would he if he got to the airport before her and got on the plane because would he get on the plane if she didn't get there in time? Like,
No, I don't think he
because
would have got on the plane.
he has the obsessive need to follow the rules and so she
Yeah.
says also like her family's like rule followers and she's some kind of
Yeah.
outlier.
Yeah.
And then they make up at some point the plane, they get on the plane together, it lands, they do make up, she apologizes, right? They
But he
they
thought it
meet
was she was just appeasing him.
I thought that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's like, "I'm sorry," and then says something really dismissive after, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly, and
Yeah.
it did seem like she is really good at saying the thing. I agree with him there. It seemed like that.
It was disingenuous, I think.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like the weird smile. Yeah, I don't know. But then, we meet her parents, and I'm very happy to meet her parents, as
Me
you
too.
know.
I was all pumped up seeing the
Yeah,
mother and father, but
yeah.
we don't know if that's her real dad because I don't know. Maybe it was,
Oh,
maybe, but I'm not
why do you
sure
say that?
because she didn't say this is my dad.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
But this
Lutherans
is
do
my mom.
believe in divorce, so
Yeah, I know. They do. Very good.
so, it was very, very interesting, to say the least, about this mom, and now we understand Katie's bluntness, do we not?
The mother is very blunt, is she not?
So before we get into, like, this conversation, I
Yeah.
wonder to you also, like,
Uh-huh.
if you had to choose a parenting style to parent you yourself as a youngster, would it be Katie's mom or Marissa's mom?
Neither.
You have to choose one. Like, gun to the head, you have to choose one.
Uh
He's really
I
thinking. You're so
no,
serious.
it's actually believe it or not, believe it or not, I wrote down in my notes, m Katie's mom reminds me of our mother a little bit.
She will in the sense that, like, of my mom in particular, like that my mom will say the difficult thing if it's gonna
Yes,
help you. Yeah, she
and
will.
that's
Yeah.
why without
Uh-huh.
a hiccup, I would pick Katie's mom.
My mom right, right. My mom says it with compassion.
Yeah, she says
Katie's
it in
mom
such a way,
probably
yeah.
does too, but I also get the sense that I like, wrote down, I pretty sure, like, Katie's mom has had this kind of conversation with Catie exhaustively, like, so many
Oh,
times.
yeah. Now
And I
you
think
know
the
why they, yeah.
difference yeah, the difference between this mom and Marissa's mom is Marissa's mom comes off more delicately put, however, underneath it, the subtext,
Mm, yeah.
yeah, comes off like
I'm sorry.
bullyishing. Yeah,
Marissa's mom is, yeah, bullyish is a strong word, but
it's
there
a
is a
strong word,
form.
you're right,
It's
yeah.
but I don't think it's far off.
The reason I say bullyish is and not to make gender stereotypes, but being a guidance counselor in a school, right? You
Yeah,
see boy bullying and girl bullying is very different. Girl bullying is oftentimes you can't see it. It leaves no scratching, and
yeah,
oftentimes the word at face value, s like in a texting situation, can sound like kindness, but actually it's really undercutting
yeah,
and, takes place over a long period of time.
yeah,
And yeah, so I t so this mom is very blunt, and Katie says things to her mom like she's in a confessional.
yeah, yeah.
Katie's like, "I tried to kiss everyone I know." She's talking about her birthday. "I had
Hmm.
tequila. I tried to kiss everyone I know."
Yeah,
And mom's like, "That makes me sad."
that makes me
Oh,
sad.
yeah. And
Hmm.
that's where you run into problems. I mean, you drink and your behavior gets, and gets obnoxious, and you're gonna hurt somebody someday. And that's when she says, like, murder, and then
Yeah,
yeah, and then actually the mom's like, "No, spiritually, you'll hurt
yeah,
somebody,
yeah.
not physically." Right?
Right.
And mom is really interesting. Mom says, "I don't wanna
Very.
blame a lot." Yeah, "I don't wanna blame a lot of her behavior on OCD, but
Hmm.
she's got a lot of internal struggles with these voices telling her things that she doesn't wanna be hearing all the time." I mean,
No.
she's burned some relationships, a lot of relationships,
Yep.
and several friendships. So that's you could see why Katie is so concerned with losing people because it's happened so many times. And if she does have voices in her head, whether they're literal voices or figurative voices, it seems that she likely has more than other people. Like, it's often like we judge people based on our own experiences, and we wanna be like, "Okay, I can tame the voices in my head. I can tame them and do
Yep.
the right thing when I need to,
Yes.
not kiss other
Hmm.
people in front of my significant other, etcetera." But her voices are different, they're stronger. And whether it's OCD plus alcoholism, right, or OCD plus
Hmm.
something else, or not
Yeah.
OCD but something else, I don't know, diagnosis aside, whatever's going on with Katie is in her head is different from what's in our heads, I think.
Yeah. And the mom says something very powerful,
Yeah.
and it's right up my alley. Do you recall what she said
What does
about
she say, Cappy?
relationships?
What does she say?
She's
Oh,
she
yes, I know, I
Yeah.
know, yes.
I put it
Ding,
in
ding, ding, ding.
bold I put it in bold letters
Yes.
because I said, "Mom said it." She says, "Katie, you gotta put in the work."
Yeah.
And I'm like, she gets a big mic drop moment for that,
Yeah.
um, because
But
you have to put in the work.
here's a question for you, because she
Yeah,
does say that,
sure.
right? Gotta put in the work to keep your relationship going, and I totally thought of you, and I'm wondering, based on, like, what you said before about Debbie, like, how being in that relationship, like, if you're doing all the work, it exhausts you?
Exhaust you.
Right. But what's the difference between putting in the work in the way that Debbie's doing and putting in the work in the way that Katie's mom is suggesting? What's the difference?
Well, what Debbie is doing, I think it's polar opposites. What I think Debbie is doing is she's trying to push a rock uphill, a boulder uphill, and which is literally impossible. But what I think we're dealing with Katie. She's got some issues that need professional help. And I think the mom is maybe skirting it a little bit. See, I think Katie can be helped. I
Mhm.
think Katie, with the right help, can get on the right track.
Yeah,
Debbie,
totally. Mhm.
Debbie is different because she's dealing. See, Katie has a partner in Josh that is willing to work with her.
Yeah, he's willing to do the work.
Yes, Debbie is not. Debbie doesn't have that luxury. Debbie does not have. Mido is out. He is mentally, emotionally, spiritually, anything, to be or not to be. He's out. So I think that's the difference between Catie and Debbie.
Yeah.
But you see, they're both exhausted looking.
Yeah, Josh is looking rough as well.
Josh is looking.
Yeah.
Oh, he's rough. I
Yeah.
almost want
And
to buy him a hairbrush.
kids these days,
Oh, kids these
what's
days.
he's in Portland. Now he's
I
in
know.
California. He's trying to fit in. He's trying to assimilate, learn about Americans and religion.
Yeah, and what's funny, did you hear the dad say, it's exciting for the first 1 or 2 or 3 days, then it's TV time. So I'm looking at him like, is he talking about hanging around with Catie?
Yes,
Or
yes.
because my grandmother was married 3 times, and
Okay.
her third husband used to use this term. Living with family or hanging around with family and fish are the
Okay.
same thing.
How so?
Well, you hang around with them 2 or 3 days and both start to stink.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I
So now
remember
we
being
see
a little
hang
kid,
on.
it's hilarious.
I was just gonna say now we know where you get your sense of humor from.
Well, not really from him, but yeah, but
You thought that was hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious, but as a little boy, I'm like, "What the hell does that mean?" But now as I'm
Right.
getting older, I'm like, "Wow, it's kinda true." In
Well,
with
look,
certain people.
it's clear, right? It's clear that her parents think she's really annoying,
Oh,
which
yeah.
sucks to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they think they
Yeah.
say it, she's annoying. But also, like, on the other hand, my dad would say the same thing about me coming in. Like, "Oh, it's great when Melissa's in town for the first couple of days, and then I'm, like, back at the TV," you know?
Yeah.
It's also a dad thing.
It's a
But
dad
yeah,
thing.
the mom
Yeah.
also intimates that Katie's annoying.
Yeah, I think Katie's visits with her family definitely have a very short expiration date.
I would think so. Yeah, you
Yeah.
take her in small batches.
Yeah.
But that's sad to have your family think that about
It's
you.
so sad. It's so sad. And doesn't Catie see this?
Yeah, I think so. I think she knows. She gets it. I mean, the
Yeah.
mom says this. She says, it's it's actually really interesting. Their team Josh. I think he's really good for
Yeah.
her. So
Yeah.
I'm really hopeful that they can make this work. He does seem to make her think less of herself. Like, I think what she means is less ego about herself and more towards
Yeah.
others. And so that's a character flaw. I
Mhm.
can't say that without sounding like a New Yorker. So that's a
Yeah.
character flaw. That's one of my flaws is I can't say that word. Character flaw that she's had all of her life. And she was just they call her bossy as a little kid.
Yeah.
And she's
Uh-huh.
just like, that's just it was definitely annoying, is what she
Yeah.
says about her.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my god." So it's like on the one hand, you can be like, "Oh, wow. Katie's super annoying," because even her mom says that. And then
Super.
you can also think, well, if your mom is saying that, then no wonder she's the way she is. Like my mom wouldn't say that on TV, even if I'm super annoying.
No. But your mother would she would phrase it.
I know.
Just say if you were annoying. She would say, "Melissa, how, what do you she would try to rephrase it to
Yeah.
you where
Yeah.
you would think it would be your idea.
Oh, yeah, that's the Jedi mind trick my mom
That's
does.
the Jedi mind
Yeah,
trick
she
that
makes
mom
it think it's
does.
your idea. Yeah.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
absolutely.
Eh Uh-huh. And she has
What
no ego in letting other people think that things are their ideas. She doesn't
No.
have to be like, "I came up with a great idea."
No,
No.
which is one of the things that I admire her about. Absolutely. So well.
And which is why I live a half a world away. I need my own ideas.
I need my
No.
own ideas.
It's nothing to do with my mother. Um,
I
but
know.
this mom yeah, it's very interesting, obviously. It's to see the family dynamic, you really get to understand more about the relationship. Also, the introduction of religion here was super surprising to me because
Yeah, me too.
I didn't expect that. I had a Lutheran friend growing up who I used to go to church with her. I loved going to Sunday school with her and reading the Bible and stuff. I didn't grow up with that, so I really enjoyed it and I liked the community. But then I learned that she was like trying to save me, and
Okay.
that obviously was a turnoff as a friend.
That's a big
That became
turnoff.
that was a
Yes.
turnoff because she thought I was going to hell. And Josh
Yeah.
had that same like epiphany of,
Yeah.
wait a second, like, is it going to be this kind of a situation where, you know, where, okay, I can believe what I want, but I'm not like I'm going to hell essentially. And
Yeah.
that's a hard place to be in a relationship. It's one thing to be
It
different
is.
religions, but it's another thing to think that your partner is going to go to hell. Interestingly, his behavior could be interpreted by some religious folks as more godly than her behavior because of how she is. And I'm not saying this is my opinion, it's not my opinion, because of how she is interacting with the world and kissing people. I personally don't think there's anything ungodly about kissing people other than her partner is not wanting her to do that, and it's hurting their
Yeah.
relationship, and it's counter to
Yeah.
their mutual agreement in their relationship. But
Yeah.
that's another element there is like you would expect the person who is more religious to be behaving in a certain way. Clearly,
Y-
just because you believe in God doesn't mean you're more moral than another person. I don't
Right.
subscribe to that, right? To that. But anyway, that's another element there.
All right, and I have one more spin on this. So when she says to him, Lutherans do believe in divorce, was that her threatening him that, oh, I'll divorce you? Or was that her saying, well, even if you become Lutheran, it's okay because we do believe in divorce. You can go back to England and we can get divorced. So I don't now you got me thinking, was that actually a threat? Or was that her saying, was that her way of soothing him? "Hey, listen, if you do convert to being a Lutheran, we believe in divorce. It'll be all right."
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's all of those things. I
It's
think
all
there's
of those
subtext.
things.
I think the
Yeah.
subtext was really strong there,
I think
whether it
Katie's
was.
full of subtexts.
Yeah, yeah.
She if she would have a billboard on Times Square and it would be all captions underneath. Everything that comes out of her mouth is can be construed so many different ways.
Right. It's like she comes off really blunt, but right underlying that bluntness, right,
Yeah.
are some subtexts. Yeah.
And what's funny is we're not bad mouthing her. We're really not. Um, Listen, she signed the contract to be on this program, and we're breaking her down. We're breaking her down, Josh down, and everything is laid out right in front of us. Katie is a certain way, Josh is a certain way, and it's up to us to make our own decisions on how we see them. And we see them in a different light than some other people. I don't see Katie making another visit to San Jose, California anytime soon.
But maybe Josh will, because they're
Maybe
gonna love
Josh
his
will.
cooking.
Yeah,
He's
he's making
cooking.
sausage and something. I forgot. Sausage.
How do you say sauce? How do you say
Sausage,
sausage?
sausage. Well, actually,
Sausage.
I say when Jen and I have like sausage and peppers, I say, "Oh, you're gonna make a little sausage," but
Why?
I don't know. It's, it's the
Why?
Italian in me. I don't know. I'm just trying to be funny.
You're so much funnier when you're not trying to be funny.
Exactly. Yeah. When I try to be funny, I fall right on my face.
So
Oh, yeah.
what also struck me too is how he's gonna cook for the family, and she says, like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go chill with my family now."
Have to go chill. Yeah. There's no, and it was such a, she walked out of the room so nonchalantly, like, yeah, I'll see you later. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
No, I
You
mean,
know,
he's just like, "Do you need anything?" And he's like, "A hug?"
yeah, a kiss.
A kiss, or yeah. Yeah.
I'd like a kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is actually a form of validation for me that he wanted from her.
Right.
I would like a kiss. It would validate for me that you care.
Right. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I wanna feel less like the hired help here. It's
Yeah.
almost like an Anabelle Shea situation. But speaking of you signed the contract to be on the show, speaking of
Uh-huh.
contracts, I think of Mallory and Rashid
Oh boy.
because
Oh
theirs is
boy.
all about the contract. I love this. First off, okay, first off, I love Michaela and Rin.
Love them.
No? Yeah. They are.
I think they're a hoot.
And you can really see like how Mallory, without her family around, like would really find family in them, and clearly that Rashid doesn't have a problem with them. He says as much. But they're at their house. They're making a cookout, and they're doing the cornhole. They got the grill. They have the fluffy butt corner or whatever. Still not sure what that
The
is.
fluffy bunny hut.
Yeah,
It's
obviously,
all
me.
bunnies. It's
Is
all
it?
bunnies.
I
Yeah,
love
it's all bunnies.
it's not bunnies, they look like,
It's bunnies.
they're not bunnies. You're giving me
W-
Jedi mind tricks. I thought they were chickens.
They were chicken. I thought I saw bunnies.
I don't know. I don't know,
I
but,
don't know. Okay.
if every if I could look at chickens and delude myself into thinking that they're rabbits, the world would be such an amazing place.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love
I love
bunnies.
rabbits. So, Rosh is like, "What are you cooking?" And Rin's like, "I have a backstrap of deer that I harvested this year." Harvested, I guess he's went hunting, right? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
a bunch of red stack steaks. So Rosh is excited. And, they mentioned that Brandon's coming with, I think, Catie, if I got that right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I thought, okay, maybe if he comes with a girl, then Rosh will take it easy a bit and be like, okay, he's not interested in my woman. He has
Yep.
another woman of his own.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, he's not excited about Brandon coming. Clearly, they play some
Nope.
cornhole. How was your cornhole game?
Um I have an admission. I don't think I've never played cornhole.
Oh, really?
I have no interest in cornhole.
That's not a
No.
euphemism.
No.
I'm literally just talking about the game. You've never played the game Cornhole?
No, I have no interest in throwing a little bean bag through a hole that's 20 feet away. I don't see the skill.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Well, the next time I come back to the States, we're going to play some Cornhole.
Okay.
And
For you, I will.
okay, it's so fun. It's so America to me. Uh, so-
Oh, you got to be hanging out in the backyard with a couple of beers and a couple of steaks. Well, I don't know if Jen will be there and playing cornhole.
Some
Is
tofu
that
steaks.
tofu? Okay. Yeah.
Well, we grew up with, obviously, my dad's a hunter. So we
Yeah.
grew up with like deer hanging from the swing set.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
why they were hanging from the swing set. Like,
I
was he
don't
leaning them out, or I don't know what the hell was going on there. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about Jen, but I definitely ate some deer. And I will say
Yeah.
this. I will say this. When I was watching them eating the deer, the way they were chewing, I'm like, that is some chewy deer. Like, I don't.
It's chewy because I've had it before. I've had
I
it
think they grilled
twice.
I think they grilled the fuck out of it. I don't. I
Oh
don't. I think I
yeah.
can do a better job, even though I'm vegetarian.
They burn that venison.
It's like the poor deer. Um, so I know they'll come at us for that. We could say whatever the fuck we want about these people, but
Yeah.
if a vegetarian's commenting on the way they're grilling the deer, that
Yeah.
is like, we'll get some shit talk in the comments or in our
Uh-huh.
messages.
Yeah.
Hey, I just call balls and strikes. Calling balls and strikes here. Calling it like I see
I
it.
love it.
So the thing that happens here, that's like the big deal of this episode, it does come off a little bit fake to
Big.
me. A bit fake. Like, I don't know.
Oh, this is
Because,
interesting.
yeah.
Lay it on me, sister. Come on.
Okay. So the girls are eating in one section and the boys are eating in the other section. Fine. It's very Love Island-esque, right? And
It is.
everything goes back to
Yes,
Love
it
Island
is.
still. Give me
Yeah.
another week to get myself off the Love Island. It's still somewhere in my system. But the girls are talking about the prenup, and then the guys are like, "Oh, what are you whispering about over there?"
Yeah.
They weren't whispering. I mean, they
They
were just
weren't
talking.
whispering.
They're loud
Yeah.
talkers, right?
They're loud.
So I feel like, I don't know. I guess with TLC, I guess just in general, how reality TV must work is they're going to have a cookout. That's the event. And they must be like, okay, the thing we need to talk about is the prenup. And so this is when it's going to come up. But
Yeah,
it's
I
not.
don't. Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you, but go ahead.
Oh, no, 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 no. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Disagree. What are you thinking?
Um,
You
I
think
think
it's
it
all
was.
real?
I think it was real. It actually brought a tear to my eye.
Oh my God, Cappy, I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. And
You're like
mhm.
the tattooed soldier who is really a hopeless romantic because Brandon talks about being a hopeless romantic or being a romantic or something like this. And I'm
He
like, oh,
says that
Cappy
he
is going
says
to
a couple.
hook, line, and sinker into this one. Uh huh.
Brandon really said a couple of really profound things in this episode.
Okay. So let's
He
get to
did.
it. But let's
Yeah.
build up to it. So the thing you're talking about, right, is the prenup. And
Yeah.
the girls are all like, hey, yeah, you gotta like protect yourself, Mallory. You worked very hard. You suffered in this accident. This
Yeah.
money is yours. It's in an account. Protect
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And my 2 cents on that is that a prenup isn't just about if you break up. A prenup also, it's not that you should have a prenup just to protect your assets. I think if you're going to get married and you're going to enter into this legal partnership in which, based on the state contract, your finances, if you ever get divorced, yes, your finances um, and how they get distributed in the dissolution of the marriage is, of course, determined by the state if you don't have a prenup. And that's part of it. But another part of it is like to open up the conversation between two
Yeah.
people who are embarking on this kind of relationship. How are they going to share their finances moving forward? How are they going to come together in partnership?
Yes.
And I think that's the more significant, especially for younger people. Like that is, I think, a very significant way of talking about what kind of partners will you be and opening up that conversation. It's not just about one person protecting their past earnings because the last past earnings is generally protected because it
Yes.
predated the marriage, right? Another more interesting question comes based on future earnings. What is his earning potential? What will happen when he becomes whoever it is he's going to become in America?
Yeah.
Because you never know where that's going to go. And that is the way of, I think, approaching it and not like, well, in case, like she says, in 10, 15 years, God forbid something happens between us, the house is in my name. Right, fine, the house is in your name. Like I worked my ass off to get that house. He tries to take half of it. But that's not really the situation. But the other part of it is of course he thinks that's the situation. He's like, I don't know what this prenup is. We get married, our shit's to ours. But actually it's not.
Right.
Anyway, on the state, like she
No,
has
it's
premarital
actually not.
assets. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, the interesting part, right, is Brandon's take on this here.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and he's totally on Rashid's side. Yeah, what do you think? Okay, so now what's your take? Because I'm looking at your face and I'm
Well, there's a backstory because obviously there was so much disrespect and so much angst between Rosh and Brandon, and then
right,
all of a sudden Brandon turns to Mallory without skipping a beat and
right,
says, "Mallory, have you given it any thought that this man has upended his life, moved across the globe, left everything behind, and you?" And I don't think you're, and I'm paraphrasing, but
right,
are you thinking about what his mindset is?
right.
You know, he's saying he's almost translating it t- in Rosh's terms by saying, "You're thinking about a possible breakup here." He's not thinking that way.
Yeah.
We all agree that a prenup is very proper for people going into a marriage, but Brandon, I think, is kind of a romantic here,
Yeah,
and
I know you're gonna say that, and he kinda
yeah,
intimates as much. You know
he
what also is
does.
fascinating too, and we could circle back to this, but it's like this moment here is what makes Rashid able to forgive or
Yes,
apologize to Brandon, right? So
yes.
I'm wondering, like, is it easier to forgive someone after they demonstrate that they can see you or understand you? Because it's the same Brandon.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same Brandon, but I think, it goes back to my thoughts on relationships.
Mhm.
Actions, and just like one of those, episodes, actions are bigger than words.
Mhm.
No. Yeah, actions are more important than words. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused.
That is the problem. I mean, question, the problem.
My dog is running around and I hear and I'm watching her.
No,
I'm
I
losing
could
my
hear
train of
Emma.
thought.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's what makes Rosh soft. Look at Brandon in a softer tone. This guy is on his side, and I think Brandon was actually um true to what he was saying to Mallory. Have you really thought about this, Mallory? What this guy has gone through? Cut this guy a break. And then I don't know if you want to cut to it, but when Brandon and Rosh were having the conversation outside, you
Yeah.
saw how soft Rosh's demeanor was towards Brandon. You
Right, and
know,
that's why I'm like, why? Like, is it just because he suddenly agrees with him and can be on his side? Or is it because he felt seen by
he felt
Brandon?
seen. He felt
Yeah.
seen. And I've been in situations like this in my life. And as soon as someone like, I don't want to say just agrees with you but someone who has your back at
Yeah.
that point, Brandon had Rosh's back. He
Yeah.
defended him. And Rosh is like, wow, I had you all wrong. I had you all
Yeah.
wrong. And he apologized. And I thought it was a very heartfelt apology, even though Rosh still threw in there, please still respect me and Mallory and our relationship.
Right.
He had to
Right.
throw that in, he had to throw that little, that little sentence in there. But um what also that Brandon said is you can't weigh financials to love.
Yeah, but then okay. And then he does though. But then he does. He says you can't do it, but he does it. He does weigh them against the. Here's the other thing. Prenup, and again, I've been in divorce into the in divorce court not a very long time, but long enough to be like, look, love and financials, like they're just different. You can't
Yeah.
weigh them, and it's true. But then
No.
you see Brandon weighing them because he
Yeah.
weighs them. This is how he weighs them. He's saying, okay, you have this money, okay, that you think would be a sacrifice to kind of put into the pool of marriage, the joint asset pool.
Yeah.
And you don't see that Rashid is giving up so much by leaving his country and coming here. And that's what
Yes.
he's putting into the joint pool in the relationship. He
Right.
is very much weighing the two. He's totally comparing and weighing the two. He's saying if someone is making this big sacrifice, then you too should make a sacrifice, and for you that sacrifice is money. That's what he's saying.
What about in every freaking relationship, there has to be a compromise.
No,
So
there does. But
there
I'm just saying
does.
I don't know Brandon, like I don't he says one thing and then clearly I just see the flaw in his argument here. Also, back to what you're saying about the hopeless romantic thing, I knew that that would get you because you always say you're a romantic, and the girls are like, you all are the ones who are acting like the hopeless romantics, and we're being realistic.
Yeah.
But Brandon says, like, I feel like the culture has shifted far from where it needs to be. So he's actually saying there's like this cultural thing in America that's happening right now. And we went from couples being married for 50, 60 years, right, to being married for 5 or 10 years,
Yes. This is
right?
a very important statement.
Yes. But, and being a hopeless romantic is not a problem because you're wanting longevity from your partner. So
Yes.
how's that a problem? All right, hopeless romantic means you want longevity. How is it a problem? Now, Mido would say it's not a problem, it's a question.
It's a question. Yeah. My
Um
longevity is 3.5 weeks in Mido's eyes.
But a few things about it. Okay, first is this statement. It's like I don't know this statement coming out of a man like Brandon and how he looks. It's like he could either be this progressive hipster who makes his own sourdough and bagels,
Uh-huh.
or he could be like a red pilled manosphere guy who's wanting a trad wife. Like that statement could come out of either of those types of people, and either of those types of people could look just like Brandon. Like, don't know what to make of Brandon.
Well, you want to break it down? Really? Think about Brandon being with Mallory before Rosh was in the picture.
Okay.
Brandon has a pickup truck. We don't know how Brandon lives. You
We
just
know
see
you don't
how
sit on that tailgate.
you
That's
don't
for
sit
sure.
you don't sit on a man's tailgate. So how do we know Brandon wasn't with Mallory, because she has it all together. She owns her own home. She has money in the bank.
Ooh.
We don't know.
Cappy, you're not
That
thinking like a romantic.
I'm not. And there was a point when Brandon, forgive me, please, whoever's listening, I'm going against the grain of all my beliefs here.
Mm-hmm.
When Brandon initially says, "Wait a minute, Mallory, think about his side," there was
Yeah.
a part of me that thought he was full of shit.
Right.
That I thought, is he trying to manipulate Rosh, or is he trying to manipulate Mallory in some kind of way? I couldn't really put my finger on it, but where is this guy coming from at this particular moment?
That is very uncappy-like and more Melissa-like. It's funny because,
Yeah.
Mallory also intimates that, like, look, Brandon calls it like it is. Like, he too calls balls and strikes,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And what do I think? I actually don't think he was trying to be manipulative in this
No.
element, but I wonder if
No.
he's
Either
coming
do
from a
I.
place of, look, he's a man. And the culture actually should be more like old fashioned and traditional, and people should be married a long time. And what comes with that are these kind of quote unquote traditional values, which get caught up with, yeah, listen to your man. You know what I mean? Because never once really did Brandon say, oh, the reason why the choice is not up to you, meaning Rashid, about whether or not I'm communicating with your future wife, is that it's really her call. Like, she's the person involved here. If she says don't talk to her, like, I won't talk to her. He never says it that way. He never says it's up to Mallory. Like, what's
No.
Mallory think about this? He's just
No.
is like, it's not that way, as if
No.
two dudes need to have their pissing contest. So on the one hand, I
Yeah.
wonder if Brandon is actually coming from like this traditional mindset that also is caught up in some kind of like
Well,
postmodern trad wife.
I think that's the
Uh,
culture for down south, and I'm
it
not.
might be, but it might not be his culture. Like, I
Yeah.
also I know like one person from Alabama who
Yeah.
is not this kind of a guy, like not
Yeah.
rednecky, not, but he could hang in this situation for sure. I'm sure his cornhole game is strong, right? Um, but
Yeah.
is actually quite, not that there's anything wrong with not being liberal or whatever, but he's quite liberal in his views.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm not sure where Brandon really is. It's actually interesting. And plus the way he looks, I'm like, gee, he's like either progressive hipster or manosphere trad wife seeker. I'm not sure. Could go either way. Oh, you're thinking.
Uh, yeah, I'm thinking, my mind is burning, but you know what? He won me over, Brandon.
Yeah, I knew he would. Yeah.
He won me over.
Yeah.
And
He won
and
Rashid over.
he won Rashid over, and Rosh was a very hard sell, because
Yeah.
you know how Rosh ruined the baseball day. He
He
ruined
did. He
everything so
ruined
many
it.
days.
Oh my
And,
God.
you know, when he was apologizing and the way he apologized, there
Mm-hmm.
are certain levels of apologies
Mm-hmm.
that really make it sincere or not. It's the tone of your voice, the softness of your voice, the eye contact. He looked at him and he
Mm-hmm.
almost whispered to him in a brotherly way,
Yeah.
I am really sorry
Yeah.
that I treated you this way, and now you have my back. I had you all wrong.
Yeah.
And it really brought a little tear to my eye. For a moment I was like, wow, that was a beautiful little moment that they had together.
It is beautiful. I just wish it didn't come out of like this idea that, I don't know, it came, so that matters. But it's kind of fascinating that it came out of the idea that Brandon had to like agree I know it's not really about agreeing, it's more about that he saw him as a person or saw his point of
Yeah,
view,
I don't
but it
yeah,
seemed like it came, like, out of a place of, like, "Oh, okay, so, look, dude, I tried to explain baseball to you, I tried to be cool to you, I threw you a
yeah.
party, I did all these things, but, like, when I agree with you, then you see me for who I am as a
Well,
person too."
I
Because
th
Brandon wasn't seen either. He wasn't
well,
seen.
I'm gonna tell you something. I think culturally,
Mhm.
how I feel was Rosh was won over when Brandon said, "I got your back, dude, on this.
Yeah.
I got your back." And I think culturally, that's how Rosh looked at it. Rosh didn't care about, "Oh, you showed me baseball, you showed me bullshit things," but
Right.
this is where it really
Right.
mattered.
Okay. It's different. Yeah.
This is what really mattered to me, and I appreciate it, and the context was the prenup, and although that's a very serious conversation and a very serious matter, put that aside, Brandon said, "Hey, dude, I got your back on this one."
Right, right. But,
Yeah.
you gotta, like, be like, "What's wrong with talking about baseball?" That's my
Uh, uh,
segue into Marissa and Edward.
oh, yeah, and that's perfect, but I'll tell you, Rosh said he never held a baseball in his life.
Yeah, but now he's gonna get all into it. You know this. He's gonna some immigrants, like, really get really into things, like, very American things. They pick
Yeah.
obviously, like, and I'm not an immigrant, I'm more like an expat, but
Yeah.
I get into things. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Me too.
But Edward and the baseball, so many
Ah.
questions come up, right? Like, what's wrong with talking about
Oh, boy.
baseball? Marissa asking, like, whether relationships based on, like, sexual chemistry can evolve into some kind of, like, deeper intellectual connections. And then Edward asking, like, whether blondes can cook. It's just it's so classic.
I have so many thoughts
Yeah.
on Marissa and Edward after this episode,
Yeah.
and
What are you thinking? You look very
as you
raw right now. Hmm.
I'm very raw, and you know
Hmm.
what? To be successful in what we're doing here, you have to be as vulnerable as possible. I'm trying to be vulnerable as possible, and people out there, it's known, it's on social media. Marissa and I chat once in a while, and she has told me, "I love your and Melissa's uh, perspective on me, and and you don't hold back. Do
Well,
not
yeah,
hold back
obviously,
if you have something to say."
obviously, yeah.
And I have a
But it's
lot
not
to
just
say.
that, like, you have some kinda, like, parasocial connection or something, like, you really like her, you know, as well, like,
I
in
do.
addition to
Well,
whatever. Yeah.
there's a reason why I have a parasocial connection with her, because
Mhm.
I think she's very sad. After
Yeah.
this episode, I think she's a very sad person.
Yeah.
I think she's caught. I think the only way I could say that, I think she's fucking stuck.
Yeah.
I think she's stuck between this life of the hoity-toity parties that that her friends have, her mother being manipulative. She's a high-powered executive. Even though it's on social media, she's left Kleinfeld's,
Mhm.
but she owns her own businesses. She has this multi-million-dollar home, and now here's this kind of guy that maybe she may not be intellectually equivalent to, which I think is horseshit,
Mhm.
in my eyes, and I think she's stuck, and I think she's really stuck, um, because I don't wanna say she's been groomed her whole life, but she has led this life, I don't wanna say privilege, but she's led this life of, if she was growing up, she probably would have never been friends with someone of Edward's ilk.
Right.
Now
Unless he
now
was on scholarship.
If she yeah, unless he unless he was like a foreign exchange student or something, right?
And I say that too because it's like I see that a lot, like, working in private schools, international schools and things. You also get local students who are on scholarship.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
even myself, when I have gone to school, and I've been to school with people who have, like, just so much more money and, like, I was on scholarship or I somehow got there, okay? And
yeah,
it is you're very much out of a comfort zone. You're dealing with people who have completely different lives, even though they may have grown up in a similar location to where I grew up. Geographically, the proximity may have been close.
Yeah.
Um, it's a whole different world. And I like that you say that I don't like that she's stuck, but I think it's a very accurate analysis that it's like she's trapped
Yeah.
in this in this social class, but really she's trapped in like these friendships in this situation in this neighborhood, like, and they're her friends, and so it's not and her family, and so in one way it's not trapped, it's just her world, and this could be a problem that is so insurmountable. Like this is the biggest
Yeah.
problem of all the problems
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
if they're not it's not just like that they're not jiving in the friend group. He's jiving just fine. He's a sociable,
Yeah.
affable guy, like, who wouldn't
Yeah.
love him, right? But her friends talk like the way her mother talks.
Oh, yeah.
Softly, sweetly, but with an undertone that is extraordinarily cringy at best. And
Uh,
to
yeah.
and the reason that it's like being trapped or in it is you can't just leave that very easily.
Well,
These are her friends. These are her
I'm gonna.
family. You don't
I
leave
want
it.
to. I want
You
to
have to
set an
change your relationship to it.
exactly now. If someone said to me, like Caitlin, her friend said, "Well, how is Edward going to live up to our standards?" So if someone said to me,
Yeah.
"Ha- you're dating Jen, how is Jen going to live up to our standards?" And I've been living this kind of life of, privilege my whole life, and I would feel stuck. Well, I wouldn't feel stuck because I think differently, but someone like Marissa who's used to a certain way of life, although I have a different take on Marissa after this episode.
Okay. It's
Okay.
funny because I find that it was this was so awful. Like these people, just everyone came off so awful except for Edward in
Yeah.
this. But
Yeah.
I could also see, not that I'm not making any excuses for how people are behaving here, but
Yeah.
I see from her because I feel like we have an understanding, right, from watching her for so many episodes. Like a lot of this is coming from for her. Like she's so anxious about it. Like you see the buildup of her anxiety, even when
Yeah.
they're like getting ready. He's not wearing the right thing.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
this. Mark goes,
Yeah.
he's wearing
It's
shoes in the house. He's wearing shoes in the house. I'm like, is he?
yeah.
And
He
then,
was. He
was he?
was.
And
Yeah.
then in the car. Oh gosh, she's like, "Look, I've never seen you getting sloppy drunk, but let's just say I don't want you like jumping in the pool by the end of the night." Like
Right.
she's hoping he doesn't engage in this behavior that he's never engaged in the past. This is coming
Yeah.
from a place of anxiety because it's not based in
It is.
reality, right? So we
Yeah.
see the build up. They go to this giant house.
Yeah.
Edward's
Uh-huh.
carrying a gift bag of like wine or something,
Yeah.
and she's giving him instructions on how to talk to people. Like, this is how you talk to people, like he's a kid.
Yeah. And I tell you, if I was in a relationship like that, I would not stay in that relationship. If someone had to school me on how to talk to their friends,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, no,
I
I'm
mean, it's one
sorry.
thing to say like, "Oh, so and so is really into da da da," I don't know, "So and so is really
That's
into
different. Yeah,
wine." Yeah, you can talk about the wine that you serve at the
yeah,
resort. He'd be really interested in that or where it comes from or yeah, like that's to help people. But the one thing she instructs is like for him to ask the friends questions
yeah,
so that he can show that he's interested in them. And then she
yeah.
says, "And don't talk about the things that are interesting to you like baseball." Essentially, that's what she's saying. And so it's like hide yourself, but show interest in them.
So what
And
if you
that's
said
not
to your
right.
partner, Melissa, say you said to your partner, "We're going to see these friends. Don't talk about yourself." How do you think your partner would take that?
Yeah, obviously that's just not good. No one
It's not
like
good on all.
and I love
It's
Edward
not
because he
good.
just ignores all instructions
So
and
do
just
I.
starts talking about baseball.
And you know what? I love Marissa too. I think she's an
Mhm,
extraordinary woman. I really do. I just think at this point in her life, this is my take.
mhm.
I think she's absolutely got her feet stuck in mud. and
Yeah.
she doesn't know how to get out of it. She
Yeah.
really doesn't.
She
And
knows it's gonna
when someone says, I'm starting to lose who I am, they
Yeah.
don't know which way to go. That mean
Yeah.
that means they're being almost a little bit insecure about who they are. Like,
Yeah.
which way do I go? I love this guy, but I love these people and I love this way of life.
Yeah.
I drive this fancy BMW. I lead a certain life. I live in this big home and all these things. And here's this guy from the Dominican Republic, and as Edward said, these people, they're banking people, and I would be serving them, and now I'm hanging out with them.
Right.
It's so different. The dynamic is so disproportionate. So I I don't know. I felt bad for Edward. I thought they set him up a little bit by saying, "Don't talk about baseball," and then they cut to a scene where he's saying, "Well, I want to be, I want to go into baseball."
Right.
I
And there's something so lovely about when you meet someone and they have a passion and they're talking about
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
makes you like the person.
yeah,
And if they don't like
absolutely,
it because they think it's some other class or like, that's
yeah.
obviously
It was beneath
it's a
them.
terrible look for right.
Yeah,
And oh, goodness. It does raise these questions about, we really the question about dating outside of your, like, socioeconomic bracket. And people always think, like, and Edward even intimated, like, this is a dream for people, but it's not because it's actually quite hard. It's just, like, to to g to meld these 2 worlds, what we see here is that it's difficult. Does it have to be difficult? No. Like, but
no,
if Marissa could just let him be himself, give no instructions, what's
yeah.
the worst that could happen? He jumps in the pool?
Jumps in the pool, and he talks about wanting
Someone
to
should
be a
go in the pool.
baseball coach. And wanting to be a baseball coach because Dominican Republic, most of great baseball players in the major leagues today are from the DR. So apparently, I know, I'm sure he knows baseball very well. So who knows? So fast say they break up and fast forward. He's a minor league baseball coach doing very well. And these people are watching TV. Hey, that's the guy that Marissa dated. Oh, look at him now. He's making a name for himself. You don't know. You don't know what people are going to make themselves to be.
I think it's very true. I think that Marissa, and look, I could be wrong here, but having going to certain kinds of schools and dealing with certain sort of families' attitudes toward what you should be doing in life, where you go to
Uh-huh.
college, what you do. It's as though if someone is off that path in any way, it's like they can't think off that path of how to behave or how to get what you want or
Yeah.
how to your own version of what success is, or it's outside of that scope. And she is just, my concern is less about, like, all the friends, because the friends, whatever, you can't control them. But Marissa, just having the feeling that this is going to be a problem, that they go to this party and being so anxious about it. It's the anxiety about it that obviously makes it worse,
Yeah.
but that's the thing she can control. Say, do the work, like talking to someone about, like, that part of it. Because if she was just okay with him being himself at the party, things would be different. And then her friends would see something different, like, oh, Marissa's comfortable with where she's at. But she's just so concerned about what other people are thinking and
Yes.
how everything is going to come together for her family, for her friends, her neighborhood, her work, or that it's like way too overwhelming.
Well, because she even said, she goes, she wants him to fit in with the friends or they will not be invited back.
I
Yeah.
missed
At the
that part.
friends
Well,
party.
then that
Yeah.
tells you about what kind of friends these are.
Yeah.
Like, if you really have to feel this way about your friend group, it's not a great friend group.
No, it's not. It's not. They're not true friends. They're really not. I'm sorry.
And and again, it's like these girls saying things, but it seems like there's an undertone, like, and the one hand, just if you were to look at a transcript and not get the subtext, right? It's like Caitlin asking Marissa, "How are you feeling? Are you anxious about him hanging out with other guys who are in other professions or in professions, right? And he doesn't
Yeah.
have." And then she's like, "I'm just saying." It's the tone. It's the, "I'm just saying," like, why even bring that up? Who cares? Like, if you're worried about that or not, like,
Yeah.
let the man just enjoy the party. Like, why should it matter that he doesn't have a profession? Like, he's not in insurance? Good for you, buddy.
Yeah,
Like, who
he's not a
wants to do that?
stockbroker. And one
Yeah.
guy said, "Oh, I'm Marissa's financial advisor." Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Right.
you know,
It's very intimidating.
it
But he's
is
not
intimidating.
intimidating. He's just like
His
blondes can't cook. He's hilarious.
Yeah,
Good
I
for him. He
absolutely.
does know who he is.
He knows who he
Yeah.
and we all know what that's alluding to. Um, I would have really enjoyed watching her just and I don't even know if she was willing to do this or even capable of doing it, just letting it be at this party. Just hanging out
Right.
with her friends and letting him do what he's doing. He was being fine. He was very affectionate with the people that he was
Yeah.
hugging them and
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
warm.
Yeah.
And he was saying, "I wanna be in baseball," and he was happy, genuinely happy, and, I wonder how that outcome would have been. I would have want I almost wanna see how Marissa would have taken that if at the end of the night, "Hey, Marissa, this guy's pretty nice. I
Yeah, and
like this choice for you."
yeah. Yeah. And a
Yeah,
few things on that too. It's like she is so anxious about it that then it's a cycle here. It's like a Katie cycle. Like, she's so anxious
yeah,
about it and she
yeah,
fixates on it, and then she
yep,
feels like she wants to control it. Not just she
yeah,
feels like she wants to control it, she starts to micromanage the situation. And Edward is learning how to ignore, right, and be himself. Not that he's learning how to be himself, but he's really
yeah,
good at, like, just, "Okay, okay, honey, fine," right, and then doing whatever he wants to do, and that's not necessarily the best way, right, but
yeah,
it's working right now for him in a way. But yeah, like, would it be different if she dealt with the anxiety differently and didn't, instead of saying, and I know this isn't conscious. It's not like on a conscious level where she's like, "I'm anxious, so I will micromanage," right? It's,
right,
it's more like if he just wore whatever and looked monochromatic and went to the party and was allowed to shine and be himself.
yeah,
Like, "allowed's a weird word," but right, it could have a really good, then her, therefore we'll take the cycle forward, this, like, causation chain forward, where then her friends would see, "Oh, wow, you're so great with him. You're so relaxed." They've met him before. They've gone on girls' trips and he's been, in
yeah,
the DR or whatever. I think if her friends were listening to us right now, right, they would retort by saying, "Hey, that wasn't our concern. Our concern was we saw Marissa doubting herself and not feeling so
yeah.
good about things
Yeah,
and
but they were
saying that she,"
leading her
and
down.
I know, I
Yeah,
know, I know, I know. I'm saying this is their argument, would be like,
yeah,
"We saw that she was saying she's mean to him and she's really not mean. And so we see that there's a problem there." That's what their
yeah,
argument would be.
yeah.
But what we also see is, you're right, like, they're mean girl-esque questions, which is like,
They
at face
are.
value, it seems like just a question, but it does come out like he's not one of us. And
No.
come on, like, this, he's never gonna be one of us.
See, I wish she had the attitude, and I wanna get this quote right.
You're gonna get it
It's a
wrong.
I'm gonna get it wrong, and I'm gonna get it wrong. It's like, I'm gonna get killed for this, but I'm willing to stick my neck out.
Oh, boy.
I don't think she's a strong, independent woman like she comes across
Oh,
and she says she
right,
is.
right, right.
And, you know, Jen said this to me once. She said, "I may be a strong, independent woman, but you do things for me and say it's okay.
I mean, you can be strong and independent and still, like,
Allow."
we're all children inside. The
Yes.
strongest man in the world, the strongest woman in the world is still a child inside in the sense
Yes.
that however they were raised and made felt as a kid
Yeah.
has a huge impact in who they are now, and it doesn't go
Yes.
away.
No, it
All of
does not.
that's inside you, and it's really how you deal with it that makes you strong. But someone who presents as independent oftentimes has a well, we see oftentimes, I guess it's just a stereotype, but oftentimes has an exterior that once it's chipped away, they crumble. And when you feel like you're that close to crumbling and you're not used to that,
Yeah.
you're like in crisis.
Crisis. You're at DEFCON 4.
I don't know what that is, but yes.
It's a military term.
Okay. Wow. So, shall we go to Nigeria?
Do we have to?
I cannot wait for next week in Nigeria, though, when Rod and the sisters
Oh,
sounds like a group
because he
are
said,
coming to
"Bitch, you
town.
be bitch, you crazy."
I missed Rod. I knew it
I
when
know.
they were in the car together like episodes ago. I was like, please, please let him come to
Oh,
Nigeria.
yeah. When they were going to love immigration.
Yes, yes. And and so Aisha has sisters, and we are definitely like I'm ready for this.
Oh, I can't wait to meet her sisters.
And the funny thing is, like in the coming attractions, it's as though the sisters had no idea that they were going to get married on this trip. And so I
Nope.
wonder, why did they think they were summoned to Nigeria? Okay. Okay.
I
Just
think we
asking.
all know.
Call me call me crazy. Okay,
I
so
did love the back and forth between Maxwell's mother and
yes.
Aisha on the bed. She
Yes.
bought her these pretty dresses, and they were like, and the mother was saying, "Well, there'll be 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls," and Aisha's like, "Well, 2 girls, 1 boy," and they had this little. It was almost a comedic little skit.
Yes.
Like, well, they were almost like doing a compromise. All right, well, I'll give you 3. No, I'll take 3 kids. I'll take 2 kids. 4 kids. No, 3, 4, 4. It was like almost they needed Shea to be auctioning off kids.
They oddly have this, like, way of speaking where we saw it alluded to earlier in the
Uh,
last episode when they were talking about, like, the age of Sarah, when Sarah in the Bible had children, had a
yeah,
child, and it was
yep,
like, when they're having an argument and you just say, "Well, how old was Sarah?" They start to speak the same language, so to speak,
yeah,
and we see it here, and it's hilarious. It's like
it is.
it's really great, and even when about, look, basically, the mom also says, like, "Look, I've accepted you. Like, I understand you might not be the image that I wanted for my first son,
Yeah,
this older woman for my first son.
yep,
Okay, but I've accepted it. I'll pray on it." It's like the thing that is the issue is you're trying to change him.
yes,
And the way she communicates it is in their shared language. Some people's shared language is English. For them, it's Bible talk, and it's like, so when you change your body, you no more have the temple, right? And then Aisha's like, well, mom, like sometimes you got to renovate the temple.
you got to renovate the temple.
You got to
I
crack
wrote
stuff up
that.
a little bit.
I wrote that down. Sometimes it needed a little spackling.
Yeah, there you go. You got to spackle the temple, and change the whites of the eyes.
Uh
But the
huh.
mom says, like, you can't fix human beings. And, something break in your house, you don't fix it, right? A little carpet, little new furniture.
Tell your dad that.
And, right. Yeah, exactly. He's
Uh huh.
always, he's Mr. Fix It.
Oh yeah.
He's been working on that house for how long?
55, 55,
56 years, maybe? Yeah.
56 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, But yeah, oh, it was just like their tit for tat was great.
Yeah.
It's
It was
like, "Oh,
it was
okay."
comical.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Aisha's like, "And you don't like how the skin treatments are helping him with his acne?" And the mom's
Yeah.
like, "Well, the bumps will disappear with time. You have some kids and those bumps will disappear."
Isn't that funny? Oh. And then she said, "Mom is tripping." I didn't realize that when I had my son, my skin became clear.
I think that the mom is saying, like, you get to be more like a man once you have kids, like, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but really she's not, like, she's just bringing it back
Yeah.
to the kid art thing. They're just so funny. They definitely have a way of talking to each other that, again, is not, like, on face value, but it's full of subtext, and it's
Yeah.
really great. So mom is tripping. Mom is tripping.
I think Aisha's got a little mean streak in her.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, she's not
Oh,
gonna have
yeah.
100 boys.
Oh, no.
Maybe 2 and 1 girl.
Two and one girl. How about two girls, one boy?
And she's like, "I think Maxwell's mom is, like, nuts," is basically what she thinks, like, "I'm not gonna have all those kids." And it's really
No.
funny, because we all I think the general public thinks that Aisha is a little out there.
Yeah.
Okay? A little on the
Yeah.
bonker side.
And if you look at her closely, her eyes are a little wonky at times. She's got a little, I don't want to call anybody crazy, but she's got a little crazy in her eyes.
She's got a little crazy in her eyes, it
She's got a
happens.
little
Yeah,
crazy in
she's
her
crazy
eyes.
with God.
She's
Yeah.
crazy with God,
And
God's will.
speaking of crazy, but then when she tells this to Rod over FaceTime later,
Oh, God. Yeah.
Rod's like, "How you acting is crazy. It is
Bitch, you,
crazy."
bitch, you be crazy.
You're like 12 years old, done
This
run
is
off and
all a
eloped.
scam. But then he says,
And
I'm going to
mm,
come. I have to see this. I have to
yeah,
see this guy.
yeah, yeah, we
Yeah.
totally know he's coming, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And look, it is pretty interesting because in some ways what he says it differently, but in some ways it mirrors a little bit of the sentiment that Marissa's friends have, which is like he says something like, "This isn't what you signed up for. This
Right.
is not what you held yourself like practicing on abstinence, right? To get
Yes.
here where you are, right? This guy ain't of your caliber, right? Not for this kind of a guy. He
No.
doesn't have anything. Like, are you pregnant or something? Because this
Yeah.
guy, he doesn't have anything.
Mhm.
Um, so clearly to him, like it's a scam.
I see it a little differently. I think
Of
Rod
course you do.
is
Obviously.
I think Rod has something I think he's got
You
overt
think
feelings.
I know that you always think this. You're like, "We know where
Not
you stand on the
always,
guy
not
friend
oh,
thing." I
no, no,
mean,
I don't,
come
I
on.
don't. You know what's funny? All my close friends are women. Did you know
Okay.
that about me?
I didn't, but it doesn't surprise me because
Why?
you you like to talk about feelings and stuff. I mean, that's a stereotype
Uh,
about women, but, like, the conversations you have, I can see that. Look, I have a lot of friends who are guys.
yeah,
It's not I think that's okay. It's but oftentimes those conversations are different, than with girlfriends. Sometimes girlfriends can be exhausting because they are always talking about their feelings.
y
But not to any girlfriend who's listening
but
right now,
but
obviously.
okay, but let me
Yeah,
ask you a question, and I was
yeah.
just talking to this about my bonus kid today,
Mhm.
that you and I had the greatest conversations while there.
Yes. Yeah, when you were here
Um,
visiting,
yeah,
we
just
had very
watching
good.
Love Island kicked off a wild, in-depth conversation,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Um, and I have two very close friends that are females. One's an attorney and one was my campaign manager.
Okay.
And believe it or not, they don't talk about their feelings as deeply as stereotypical women talk about.
Right.
I just I there's gonna come a you know, maybe I think differently than most men, but I find the company of women more compelling
Okay.
than talking with men. You know, and I do have some male friends. I've one great male friend, and we have all the same values, the same whatever you want to say. We have the same values, but these women that I'm such close friends with, it's just it's easier.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
just easier. You know, a lot of guys that and I'm I come from a blue collar background. I worked for a local municipality with it was predominantly men, and they all the majority of them, if you hung out with them, the conversations were all the same.
Mhm.
And 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 I'm not going to say that it was boring to me, but it was not it was not interesting to me. You
Right.
know, I want to talk about different things. I don't want to talk about, golf or, oh, look at that lady walking down the street. She's hot. I mean, come on, give me a fucking break. There's more to life than just being like that. You
Yeah,
know,
you know what's also interesting is I think that uh, for you having conversation with women is different than me having conversation with women. And I'm not saying I don't like talking to women at all, but there's a
yeah,
point where there's a point, and sometimes with being friends with women that is actually quite hard for me that you wouldn't experience. And that part is like, and if we have an event coming up, all the women are talking about like what they're going to wear and what dress they're going to buy and all these things. And I really don't give a shit. Like,
right.
the
I
whole
gotcha.
Marissa dressing Edward situation, like, I don't give a
Yeah,
shit what anyone's wearing. And that sort of thing about like makeup or hair or all of that, it's actually a lot of conversation is about that. And when you can't participate in it, you do feel like an outsider, you know? And so with
gotcha.
men, I think I'm automatically the outsider because I'm the woman. And so it's different, right? And I think maybe with you too, with women, like you're just the outsider. And so you're not expected to, I think, sometimes I feel socially expected to talk about certain things,
Right.
especially if other women are having certain life experiences that don't mirror my own. And,
Yeah,
I,
it's a very
yeah,
good point.
yeah. So, I just want to be right, man. That's
I
all.
know.
It's the best way
I
to get
know
me to
you
shut
do.
up. Just say, very good point.
Very good point.
Okay, baby, are we ready to go to Paducah or
Do we
P
have to? The church of the church.
Paducah?
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, I have a question. How long until Shea is volunteering at a Catholic church every week?
A Christian church. Oh, a Catholic church.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mhm. Will Annabelle
I
get him in that
no,
situ No?
no, no.
I believe in Annabelle. I have to, because there's other, like
And I'm going to tell you
it's hard to
why.
watch. Why?
Allison.
No, I know, I know, I know. But that's my question. Will she gain control? This whole segment, as all their segments are, it's really, and again, it's women and subtext. It's like, will
Wow.
Annabelle or Allison win the battle of Shea? And why are they fighting over Shea?
And I'm going to tell you something. Kids,
Mhm.
kids usually come first.
Kids, obviously, I think should come first, but we have an
Yes.
adult kid
Yeah, she's in it.
who is asking for, I don't know. I mean, I think what she's asking for is not necessarily something she should be asking for. Like,
I
it's
know.
okay for him to go to some other church. Just okay. He's not a
I,
believer. He doesn't care. He's trying to be like, hey, all the churches are the same. Like, he's not a godly, I'm not
yeah.
saying he's not godly. Again, what does it mean to be godly? We leave that to
After what you,
Josh.
but
Josh can
after
answer
what
that. He's
you know,
studying
it's
Americans in religion.
it's like you go to have drunk fun, lake fun, and then the next morning you confess all your sins to God.
Right, right.
Um, what I was laughing before was I'm looking at my notes, and Allison at one point said, "God, Annabelle just has a horrible resting bitch face."
I know. She does. They trolled her.
Grace
She
Point
was.
Church.
Annabelle was not open-minded about this church.
No, she was not. And she's like, "Is this a church or a disco?"
I mean, people go to church to have certain kinds of experiences and community. This is not for her. She look, I mean, she is coming from far, and I think if she could find some kind of solace in finding a church that is similar to what she's used to getting out of church and her community that she gets out of church, she
Yeah,
would feel so wonderful about living there. Like,
yeah,
that's all she's actually asking for. And
yeah,
she walked in, took one look, and was like, "Yeah, no, thank you."
yeah. Look at all
Like,
the green lights, the red lights. What kind of place is this?
but she also did not give it a chance, and she was super rude about it, but she's also coming off being pissed off about Shea and everything,
Can you blame
and
her?
right, absolutely.
But the only contradiction is she's bitching and bitching about Shea, right?
Yeah.
And the next morning, he's laying there in bed, he's all hungover, and he's like, "Come on, babe, don't start with me." He's laying there, his nose hairs is sticking out of his nose.
Wow,
I
you get
mean,
close.
yeah, I mean, and she's still
Cappy's listening
taking
with, like, a telescope and a
and she's still taking care of him, giving him the warm towel for his head, and she's
Yeah,
rubbing his ass. "Oh, your ass is still chunky." You know, you know,
yeah.
what is she doing? What
It's funny. It's like oftentimes in the show, the parts that I watch and I'm like, "That's so freaking weird," and I just kinda gloss over, that's where the beauty is, because it's like, what is she doing? Is this
Yeah.
love? Is like, what the hell is going on here?
I don't know what this is.
But it
I
it
don't know.
encapsulates the whole
It
thing.
does. It encapsulates everything. I don't know what her end game is.
I hope that her end game is pure and her ask is little. That's what I think it is. You're looking at me like I got 45 heads. No, 2 heads and 1 girl. I don't know, but
And by the way,
this
they only have
yeah,
44 more days to the wedding day at this point.
yeah, yeah, they're getting there, and yeah, the pastor says that we can have eternal life today.
Yeah, I
So
know.
45 days aside, doesn't matter. Like eternal life today at Grace Point Church in the strip mall parking lot,
Oh my God. I
which in the
wonder if,
evening time is a disco.
and right next door is Love Immigration.
There you go, one-stop shopping for everyone. I mean, Allison's right in the sense that, yes, what we see is Annabelle acting rude, of course, with the resting bitch face,
Yeah.
and, the problem really is, though, is that Shay takes Allison's side here at the end when they're after they leave and they're in the parking lot and they're all debriefing. Like, that's the main issue.
You know, I'm very torn about Shay and Annabelle. I don't
Mhm.
know. I'm not sure why she's here. I don't know why she's in Paducah. I don't again, I've said it for weeks and I'm not fat shaming. I'm not shaming anyone. I don't see the attraction in this man. Why she's so in love with this man. Why these really attractive young women are so attracted to this guy. I see he's flirty, he's charismatic, but come on.
I wonder if he exudes some kind of a smell that we smell, we don't even know what it is, but it
Like
makes
some
people
sort of
attracted to
pheromone,
him.
like
Yeah,
pheromones or
like he's
something?
got these pheromones that just make people drop for him.
Oh my. Because his, funnel drinking skills are not that great. Not that I'm a pro at it.
Oh, you don't think they're great?
I wouldn't know because 'cause I've never done it.
Oh, you've never you Okay, so when I come to America, things we gotta do:
Okay.
1, cornhole; 2,
Okay.
funnel beer. No, I'm just kidding, I
Okay.
would never. Although I would love you to funnel beer. I've also never funneled beer. That is
Yeah, I don't see you as a someone that has done that.
that is
Even
like
though I was at a block party this week and I tried a shotgun drink,
Oh, okay. Explain
which
that. What's that?
well, it's like this little pump gun. You put a can of
Oh, boy.
like hard seltzer, you know, those like Trulies or whatever. I don't know if you
Okay.
know what they are.
I
And
mean, not really, but
you
I
put
could
the can
imagine.
it's like a 12-ounce can and you put it in in the chamber and you pump it. It opens up the can
Okay.
and you put the back of the this it's a toy gun and you pull a trigger and all the liquid comes just shooting into your mouth. And I instantly gagged and spit everything out. But before I wanted to try it because I was watching my daughter-in-law do this and she just
Okay.
went and she just like guzzled the whole can. So I'm like, oh, okay, how hard can that be?
Right.
So I tried it, and as soon as it came shooting into my mouth, I was like, "Bleh," I spit it all out, and I'm like, "Man, I am one fucking amateur when it comes to drinking." And, I've just never been a drinker.
Yeah, well, it looks easy. Some things look easier than they are,
They do.
like
They do.
funneling.
Like funneling. I don't know. Shay, I have a lot of questions about Shay and Annabelle. I really do. I think the other couples, I think we could really break them down and figure them out, and I think we've done so pretty well. But these 2, uh,
Do you know why? This is why they're hard, I think, because we don't really understand with all the other Josh aside as well. I think this is why Josh is compelling to me and Annabelle because we don't know where they're coming from. We
no,
really
we
just
don't.
don't get their family, we
No.
don't get enough about their point of view. I just and I think for that and I think Thomas as well, but now that we have more about Thomas and they're not in this episode, but hopefully we'll see them
Yeah,
again, like we could
yeah,
understand him more and it helps us see, oh, okay, he's not just like an asshole who freaks out about, perfume. He actually has, a lot of trauma and he has
yeah.
a complicated past and yeah, so we just don't get to see a lot about Annabelle, so her motives are still questionable maybe. Whereas with Mido, we also don't get a lot about we don't know, like his dad. Is his
No.
dad sick? Is this whole time his dad is sick and that's
Oh,
why
I
he's
think
acting
that
so
was all a
douchey?
hoax. I
Right?
think it was
But
all a hoax.
it seems
Yeah.
pretty clear that that was all a hoax, right? But
Yeah.
literally, we know nothing about him, so we don't know. And so it's so easy to be like, he's an asshole.
No. And I give it to TLC and the writers and the producers. A lot of things from Annabelle, they're hidden from us.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want to see her backstory. She's 54 years old. She has to have a past. And
From the
I
Philippines.
from the
And again, since you can't
Philippines.
really get divorced in the Philippines,
Yeah.
I wonder, was she married? Did God forbid her husband pass? Or I don't
Yeah,
know.
and there's
Does
so
she
many
have kids
things.
out there? All this stuff on the internet about
Yeah,
her.
there's a lot of things which I won't repeat because you don't even know if they're true or not.
Right.
Uh, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested because I think she's compelling enough to want to know
Yeah.
what's going on, but uh, she has her hands all over Shea all the time,
She
even though she
does.
even though she's angry at him.
You know, it's kinda like what, who was it? Ross Sheet had said, like, "I don't like skin. I don't like skinny."
I
Um,
don't like skin.
yeah, but
I
I
don't
think
like
she got
skinny.
him into shape and shaped him up, and he's looking great, and I would imagine in my best of bests for him, he is volunteering at the Catholic church every week, and he's learning some Tagalog, he's hanging out with the Filipino church ladies,
Wow.
and yeah, I could see that for him. And he needs to go to
Uh,
different churches
you know,
from his
there
daughter. That's
yeah,
okay, not a big
yeah.
deal. It's
There's a
okay.
part of me that kinda wishes that for Shay.
Right. That he can have a little separation there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do. Because Allison, I hate to say it to anybody, they need to be put in their place, but,
that sounds
Allison,
bad, but
it
she does.
sounds really bad, but she does. Yeah. Um, we
Yeah,
shall see.
we shall see.
That's the beauty of this program. Every Sunday evening, everything unfolds little by little bit by little bit.
Oh, little bit. We did get to
Little
see some little
bit,
bit.
I know.
All right, my bro-in-law.
My sister-in-law. This is so much fun doing it with you. It is my honor to be breaking this down with you. I want to thank all of our listeners. You could check us out on Instagram, Reality In-Laws, on YouTube. And this would not even be possible without the brilliance of my sister-in-law, Melissa.
Oh, Cappy, Cappy,
True.
Cappy.
It's
Cappy, you're a
true.
sweetheart. We love you in our family.
Oh,
Thanks
I
for
love you and your family.
Aw. Thanks for participating in my shenanigans.
You're welcome.
You're the only one who will. I feel like Catie a little bit. It's like, oh, this one with another thing she's into, like she's going to come home and obsessively talk about this, this show she's watching. But now I have you. You're not in the family long enough, so I could rope you in.
That's all right. That's all right. I love it.
All right. All right.
I
Until
absolutely
next
love it.
week, take care.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.